What do you like about Susan?
It's not so much what I like about her as a person, but as a character and as a character study, I really enjoyed playing somebody who sort of is coming to terms with their choices and the choices that, they really haven't confronted themselves with. And that was a wonderful opportunity to sort of explore what that would be.
As an actress, how was for you working with a director that has a very different background from the director you've been working?
Once I started working with him, he sort of lost Tom Ford, the designer, to me, and he just became Tom Ford, the director. And I always, for the most part, have really great relationships with directors, and I really see it as my job to communicate their vision. And he was so wonderful at helping me understand the tone of the movie, kind of what he was trying to communicate. And so working with him, I never saw Tom Ford, the designer, except the sets were beautiful, my clothes were impeccable. But after that was done, he was just Tom Ford, the director.
Would you react as a Susan when you read something that really unsettled you? Would you have, or you would?
Yeah, if it were, I definitely would. I'm very moved by books, by literature. When I was younger, I read a ton, so that was always had been an important part of my life. I think with Susan, and the thing that is unsettling is that it's dedicated to her, and it's called Nocturnal Animals, so it feels personal. I'm sure that would be really unsettling to get something that is dedicated to you and yet had such a violence to it.
How was to change the tone of the story between the relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal as a husband and as a different character on the set?
Yeah, Jake had... I didn't get to work with Jake as the other character. I know that, for him, he had a really big challenge because he had to really play not only both of these characters who are very different, but he had to be sort of like ineffective in a way. And I know that's not his natural way, but building the relationship between Susan and Edward was really fun. We had to do it in 3 days, and so Jake and I just had to dive in and be like, we're gonna have a great time, and we're just gonna do this and be invested in what this is. And I'm really, really proud of that relationship. I really believe it. It felt very real to me when I watched it, and when I was experiencing it with him, I remember telling my husband, I'm like, ooh, these fights feel a little too real, I think you're going to be very disturbed by these arguments. So it was really wonderful to get to do that with him.
There's a line that really hit me that one of the characters says to Susan, which is, do you like what you do or you're just driven? It's the same for you. Do you like what you do or you're just driven you must do it?
I like what I do, and I'm driven. Do you know what I mean? I'm not, for me, it's not driven towards acknowledgement or success, but it's sort of driven to find new ways to communicate, new ways to do it, so I can sort of create balance in my life. So I'm driven in a lot of different ways. It's not specifically towards, it's not career ambition, but I do like what I do.